So will Bennifer 2.0 survive? I believe they will. But let's talk about Bennifer. It wasn't fun to be called Bennifer back in the days. I mean, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck were a couple. They were in love. They were a serious relationship. But they started calling them Bennifer, to put them down, to criticize them, to make fun of them. That's why the Bennifer, they started calling him Bennifer. So anyway, the first reason Ben Affleck broke it off with Jennifer Lopez, I say, was the press. The press was grueling, mean, envious, and jealous of their relationship. Number two, he thought he fell in love with Jennifer Garner. Met her for the second time in the film Daredevil. After a few months, got engaged, broke it off with Jennifer Lopez. 2004, married Jennifer Garner, and 2005, they had their first child. The third reason was his character. He wasn't strong enough. He wasn't strong enough to fight for his relationship, to realize how much he loved Jennifer Lopez, and not listen to what people are saying, the press and the people around him, even good friends. He admits that today, that I listened to the wrong people. And I should have protected Jennifer Lopez more with the bad press and the evil things they used to say about her. He admits that. He says now, if the people, the press, said the things they said about her then, now, they'd be fired. Fired. So, Ben Affleck doesn't have a strong character. Well, he didn't have one in 2001 when he was just 30 years old. And he listened to, the people around him, the bad publicity, and him himself didn't fight for what he loved, the love of his life. Obviously, Jennifer Lopez is the love of his life because as soon as his divorce was final, he contacted her and did everything he could to get her back. So we know that while he was married to Jennifer Lopez, he cheated on her numerous times with the babysitter, with the PR from Saturday Night Live and other people. And as we recently heard in a recent interview, he started drinking, laying on the couch, drinking his tears and sorrows and woes away. So he was in an unhappy marriage. Not blaming Jennifer, although, like I said, she was married to Scott Foley, knew Ben Affleck was engaged to Jennifer Lopez, but it takes two to tango. So his character wasn't strong, but, he was 30. He was a young actor. What did he know? We forgive him. I get it. It can happen. We're not all strong. We don't always get how people are going to be envious and jealous and try to ruin what we have. And that's what happened to him. But he saw his chance with Mr. A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, who never, ever appreciated Jennifer Lopez. He might have loved her for 2 minutes, but he always thought he was better. Young, hot, baseball player, athlete. He didn't really appreciate Jennifer Lopez. Because if he did, he wouldn't have cheated on her. But that's another story. Ben Affleck saw his chance. Because, like I said, he'd been trying since the divorce to get her back. Saw his chance, grabbed it, won her back. And he is not going to mess up this time. Jennifer Lopez would not have taken him back if she thought for 1 minute, for 1 instant, that he didn't know what he wants this time. That he wants her. That he wants this relationship. That he's going to do everything to make it work. Respecting each other. And not letting others ruin what they have. So yes, Bennifer 2.0, I'm all for it. This relationship is going to work. One of the reasons they're both in their 40s. They're both parents. He has 3 kids, she has 2 kids. They're parenting together. They're one big family. And even their parents are all into it. Grandma, grandpa from both sides are all rooting for them. So yes, I believe it's going to make it. And this is the reason, if anyone was wondering why Ben Affleck left Jennifer Lopez, if he loved her so much 17 years ago, what happened? This is what happened. The press, he thought he fell in love with Jennifer Garner, and he didn't have a strong character. But it's all going to work out now. They know the deal. They are going to live happily ever after. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you remember Bennifer. If you're old enough, going to be over 40, to remember when they were dating. And let me know what you think about them making it this time. So give me a thumbs up, share with your friends. Thank you for subscribing, and subscribe. Come on, click that little button. Help my channel grow. Mwah. Bennifer, all the way. Second reason, my darlings, Jennifer Garner. So I'm not giving her all the blame. She was happily married to Scott Foley, gorgeous, good-looking actor. And of course, Ben Affleck was happily engaged to Jennifer Lopez at the time. So Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck met in 2001 during the film Pearl Harbor that they starred in together. But there was no flames, no flirting until they met again in 2003 and did the film Daredevil. During the filming of Daredevil, there were flames, there were flirting, and they fell in love. They fell in love. Or so he thought, Ben Affleck, that he was madly in love with Jennifer Garner. So they went to the premiere, actually. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez went to the premiere together. I mean, you can see it on YouTube. And Jennifer Garner was there with her husband at the premiere of Daredevil. But they were already in love. In fact, a few months later, they announced their engagement. He broke it off with Jennifer Lopez, and he announced his engagement with Jennifer Garner. They got married in 2004 and had their first child in 2005. So we have the press that was, demeaning his relationship with Jennifer Lopez. Then we have him meeting Jennifer Garner again in Daredevil and falling in love with her. These are the two reasons why Ben Affleck broke it off with Jennifer Lopez. But the marriage with Jennifer Garner, okay, the first few years, I'm sure were great. But then he started cheating right away. First with the babysitter, then with the PR from Saturday Night Live, and numerous others. And he himself admits he was unhappy. He was miserable. And he became an alcoholic. Started to drink his tears and woes away. Why? Well, I believe because he never stopped loving Jennifer Lopez. He realized he made a big mistake. Because he was weak. He was weak. He didn't have a strong enough character to realize that you don't listen to what people are saying in the press, the news, criticizing your relationship if you love someone. But he did. He did. He listened to the press, the news, the criticism. And he broke it off with Jennifer Lopez and thought it would be great with his colleague, Jennifer Garner. No. Didn't work out as we obviously see because he never stopped loving Jennifer Lopez. Never. And what people don't know is that he started courting Jennifer Lopez as soon as his divorce was final. Yes. It's not like, a couple of years ago, he rang her up and said, "Oh, Jennifer Lopez, I miss you." Or like people think a year ago, a few months ago. No. As soon as his divorce was final, he contacted her. He wanted to get back to her, with her. And the last years, it became closer and closer. I mean, emails, and then phone calls. And then when he saw his chance, when Mr. A-Rod messed up, Mr. A-Rod, who never appreciated Jennifer Lopez, never thought she was on his level. He was the gorgeous, hot ex-baseball star. Yes, he thought Jennifer Lopez was fabulous, but never appreciated her. Took her for granted and started cheating on her. As we heard he's done in numerous relationships. Started cheating on her. She accepted, I heard, some cheating. But this last time, it was all over the news. Too disrespectful. So she let him go. And Mr. Affleck came right on and he saw his chance. And he grabbed it. And after a few months of calling, of emails, of courting her, she let him back into her life. So it wasn't easy for Ben. It's not like he just knocked on the door or made a phone call. No, she made him work. She wanted to be sure that he knew what he wanted. The second time around, their love is going to be strong and they are going to believe in each other and not depressed and not what people are saying or thinking or writing. And that's why they're giving no interviews together yet. And they just started actually giving interviews. So, will Bennifer 2.0 work? I believe it will. Even that title, Bennifer, it wasn't, they weren't proud of that. They weren't happy about that. It was derogatory. It was, pulling them down. Bennifer, Jennifer and Ben Affleck, Bennifer. So even that was like, mean and nasty, criticizing. Wasn't very pleasant to be called Bennifer. I mean, now it's fun. Now it's fun, they're Bennifer. But during the days, it wasn't. So number one was the press. Number two, he fell in love with Garner, so he thought. And number three was his character. He didn't have a strong enough character to fight for what he wanted, which was Jennifer Lopez, which was that relationship. He let people and things and critics and journalists ruin his relationship, get into his brain. But I get it. It's not easy when almost everyone around you is saying she's ruining your career. She's using you. You're an Academy Award actor. You should be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. It's hard. It's hard to understand it when you're only 30 years old. So I get it. And I understand why she has forgiven him. But what people don't know, he didn't just knock on the door or give her a call and she said, "Here, Ben, come back in my life." No. Since he was divorced, he's been trying to get Jennifer back in his life. So they have always been in contact with emails. But recently, the last couple of years, he let her know, "I want you back in my life." Courting her, love letters, and when Mr. A-Rod, who thought he was the top of the game, Mr. Ex-baseball player, I don't believe he ever loved Jennifer Lopez. Took her for granted. Never treated her special. Cheated on her, I heard numerous times. Well, he cheated on his ex-wife and he's known to be a cheater. But anyway, Ben Affleck saw his chance when A-Rod messed up and zoomed in there. And after months and months and months of him courting her, that's when she let him back in her life. She wanted to be sure that Ben Affleck had changed, that he was a strong man, that he really wanted this relationship. And he does. And I believe it's going to work out. Well, now they're both in their 40s. They're both parents. He has 3 children. She has 2 children. So they're doing their family outings together. Mom and dad, their whole families have, met each other, vacations, gone out. So I believe in their love. It's going to work. And this is advice for everyone who is dating or in a relationship. Never let bad vibes or other people interfere in your relationship. You have to fight for your relationship. And don't let what people say about your man, your partner, your girlfriend, your wife, interfere. Of course, yes, listen to advice, but you must work on your relationship. You must work on your relationship. Like a garden, you don't take care of that garden, all the plants die. You have to work on a relationship. Trust each other, communicate. And that's what they are doing now. So this is why Ben Affleck broke it off with Jennifer Lopez. But this is also why he will never, ever blow it again. He knows that Jennifer Lopez is the love of his life. He knows that Jennifer Lopez is a smart, intelligent, beautiful woman, and he is lucky to have her back in his life. Hope you enjoyed this video, my Bennifer fans. Share with your friends. Tell me what you think about Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck getting back together. If you are over 40, because my young audience under 20 or 30, they were too young to, have dealt with the Bennifer in 2000. Subscribe. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah.